the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Sprite.
Here in our NBA on 2K Sports studio, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal at your service. Tonight we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays Center. And taking a look here at the Nets. They split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. Shaq, can we talk? Just you and me, just guys. I won't let this go any further than here. It's just you and me talking.
All right, let's do it, Ernie.
You and me talking about Kobe Bryant and your relationship to Kobe. What was that like for real?
Well, in any job, Ernie, personalities are a part of it. It's about success. It's also about the fit. You know, there's an old saying, you don't have to like what I do, but you have to respect what I do. And obviously we respected each other. Shaq and Kobe is the greatest 1-2 punch ever assembled.
And I was just kidding. A lot of folks just heard what you had to say. There's no taking it back. Let's go to Kevin Harlan.
What?
Sorry. Gotcha.
Let's meet your Brooklyn Nets. At shooting guard, standing 6'5", number 1, Gerald Henderson. At small forward, at 6'6", number 9, Andre Iguodala. The other guard, 6 feet 4 inches, number 11, Drew Holiday.
On the road and hungry for a win against an Eastern Conference rival, the Orlando Magic are ready for this thing to get started. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports fans. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, alongside Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. You look at the Nets, 6th game of the season for them, and when you're 4-1 already, you've got a good feeling about each game.
Well, I think for Brooklyn, they've done what they've needed to do up to this point in the season. I think they've got to be happy and comfortable with where they are.
And I'm sure they are. I mean, they don't have the target on their back that some of the top teams have, but this is a very solid club.
A look at the starting group for the Magic. They've got Whiteside. Kobe is out there with Patrick Beverly. And it's West, and it's George in at the 3 slot. Passes it to Beverly. Feeds it to Bryant. Poked loose. West dishes to Bryant. It's George on the wing. Sinks the triple. George has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
The Nets were a solid team defensively overall last year, but very often they would lose the rebounding battle with their opponent.
Davis setting the pick for Holiday. In the corner, Henderson with it. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. On defense, Brooklyn, they are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And they were nearly flawless offensively in that win, Kevin. Once they got rolling, they just did not stop.
My kind of performance to watch, guys. Efficient and potent. Very strong.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Outstanding job there to absorb the contact and guide it in.
That's how you impose your will against the defender. He came to play.
A lot of praise has been sent Kobe's way over the years, but perhaps one of the biggest I heard last season was when Grant Hill called him the toughest person he ever had to guard. Really good offensive execution. Nice pick, just couldn't get the shot to go.
Boy, you love to see that as a basketball purist. Guy setting a good screen and then getting the shot opportunity.
Now here's Beverly. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Minnesota.
And don't forget, guys, his playmaking was sensational. I mean, he saw the floor, making the game so easy for his teammates.
Kobe Bryant again. Bryant's got 5 now. And Clark, that may not seem too out of the ordinary, but you look at all the stars that Grant Hill faced during his career, and there are a lot of big names on that list.
Yes, Hill certainly had a large collection of superstar wings to choose from, but it's hard to argue against this selection of Kobe Bryant.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Beverly with the ball. Outside, Kobe. And there's the pass to West. Chandler with the steal. Iguodala against George. Henderson passes to Davis. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And it's a tie ball game.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. And Bryant kicks to George. And the wing jumper offline.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
Iguodala dishes to Chandler. Outside Holiday. Henderson, no one around him. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Out of bounds. Next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession.
Well, let's take a look at where Orlando ended up, Kevin, rank-wise in the league last year. 12th in free throw percentage, 13th in opponent shooting percentage. And for team steals, a little bit to be desired there. Just made it to the top 20 in the league.
Now here's Henderson. He picked up 15 points in their last win against New York. Here's Iguodala. He's off from 17 feet.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
To the right side. Dishes it to Beverly. Kobe kicks to Beverly. Orlando moving the ball around. 5 to shoot. The Magic need to get a shot off here. Outside, Kobe. A second chance effort. The shot's good on the assist by West. And it's 7 points for Kobe Bryant.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Holiday, the pass to Chandler. Henderson dishes to Davis. Baseline J on the way. Chandler. No good. Some solid defense from Bryant. Magic have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Pass to Beverly. Outside, George. For the 3. Brooklyn with the rebound. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando this season.
Well, there was a lot separating these two teams in the standings a year ago, but they played each other to a draw. They split the season series.
Now, here's Beverly. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. He dishes it to George. Chandler with the rebound. Chandler's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And Holiday, here we go. And good on the basket. Book it. Just goes to show you the varying styles of play and various strengths and weaknesses, Clark, of the teams. You can match up well with a particular team and not your conference overall.
I've always said that matchups are always what I look at as an analyst. There's something about these two teams, though, meeting. It always seems to end up being more exciting than it would be otherwise.
Whiteside, good. The Orlando Magic come into this one after the win against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be much of a challenge for them in that game. It seemed like they scored at will. Not much defense that they were facing.
Yep, they had the defense on its heels early the entire game, and actually nearly the entire game, and no matter what unit was out there, looked like a mismatch to me.
Now here is George after Henderson's miss. And Bryant kicks to Beverly. West trying to free himself up, and it's Beverly missing.
And that's a shot you can't pass up. He should knock that down.
Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of if you don't want your pocket picked. Here are last season's steals leaders. 5th best, Paul George.
He showed such great defensive instincts last year. Just a terrific defensive player.
Orlando leading. Let's now go to Doris Burke over across the way, who spoke with Lionel Hollins. And Doris, take it away.
We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. so we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
And thank you for that, Doris. It's hauled in by Beverly.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
West to screen on Iguodala. West against Chandler. The shot by George, wide open. The shot's good on the assist by West. 6 points here for George.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
It's Henderson on the wing. Holiday, the pass to Henderson. Iguodala outside. Davis dishes to Iguodala. Henderson, no one around him. Here's Chandler. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Orlando leading by 3. Here's Beverly. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range. Well, the Magic weren't the worst team in the East last season, but in most years they could have been. Not a lot to be happy about with how they play.
Now, here is George, coming off a solid outing against Minnesota. Well, Orlando, Clark, with the 3rd worst in-conference record in the East, and that matched up to where they finished in the standings.
Well, it seems they just fell victim to slow starts a lot of times, and they didn't have the experience or firepower combination to overcome that.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Hollins is checked in. Davis comes in for Anthony Davis. McLemore's checked in for Gerald Henderson. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Drew Holiday. Stolen by Brooks. And here we go with the Magic fast break. Brooks leading the charge. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Here's the 3. No good. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Kicks to Augustine. Davis setting the pick for Augustine. From the arc. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Augustine's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, I'm not necessarily a big fan of him shooting that shot, but they did give him the space.
Brooks kicks to George. George double teamed. 3-pointer. Brooks. Offensive rebound. Haywood with a screen on Augustine. And Brooks. Here we go. Right through the D for the layup. Brooks has got his first bucket in this one.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
Davis setting the pick for Augustine. Pass to Hollins. And a wide open look for Iguodala. Here's Davis. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, why don't we look at some of the numbers here on Marco Bellinelli. Last season's performance for him averaged about 11 points a game last season, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And right now it's about him picking up the nuances of the game and making daily improvements.
Steve, you're right on top of it. There are so many little things you have to learn as you grow as a player, and he's just going through that process right now.
Now here's Brooks. He had 10 points in the win against Minnesota.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
Paul George in the first year of a 5-year max level contract extension. Boy, those are big words and mean a lot. You talked about earlier his name on the marquee and how it's big and bright. You know, his play last season left no question in a lot of people's mind that he's worth every dollar.
Yeah, there are only about a dozen or so guys that are worthy of max contracts, in my opinion, and he's clearly one because he's gotten better every season. He hungers to be great, and he's a tremendous two-way player, potentially a guy who could be Defensive Player of the Year at some point in his career.
Brooklyn trailing. Iguodala kicks to Augustine. The dish to McLemore. Out of bounds. Orlando takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
And here we go with Aaron Brooks. He kicks to Bellinelli. Picked by Haywood. It's tipped. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. And the Magic lead by 4.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a nice look.
Poor job by the defender to not fight over or around that screen.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
A chance here now to see how the Nets ranked in the NBA last season. 4th in steals, 11th in three-point field goal percentage, and they were in the top half of the league in lowest opponent scoring as well. This is a team that has shown improvement defensively, and they feel like they're not done yet.
Still, I think the key to their team was the steals that you talked about, because they were a team that put a lot of pressure on the offense. They got out and played the passing lane, tried to force turnovers, and when they did, they usually converted those into points at the other end, and that's one of the reasons they were pretty good. That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Iguodala outside. Hollins dishes to Iguodala. Davis inside, Haywood covering, and a clever pass fake kept the D from closing in.
It was almost like he was surprised to be that wide open, yet he knocked it down.
Now here's Brooks, outside, George. And it's George again missing.
That's one he knows he should have made.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And what do you guys think about the Magic here so far in this one?
And the key has been the second chance points. You look at this team, the hustle that they play with, very impressive in that first quarter.
Well, it's showing up on the scoreboard. I mean, you get second chance points like that, it can add to your totals and also demoralize your opponent.
So on the floor for Orlando, they've got Paul George. Haywood is out there with Evans. Then there's Bellinelli, and it's Brooks in at the point. Here's Hollins. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. They grab their own miss. Evans with some nice D.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Evans, a screen on Henderson. Here's Brooks. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. It's on Ben McLemore.
You know, there's really not a polite way to say this or a way to sugarcoat it. The Magic were simply terrible on the road last year and ended with the worst record in the league in terms of road wins.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Whiteside's checked in for Haywood. And Kobe is subbed in for George.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should really continue to work it down low, Clark. That's really going to free up the rest of their offense.
Now here's Bryant. 29 points for him last game against Minnesota. And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way. As you guys said, the Magic, the worst road team in the league last year. Steve, only 4 wins for them away from home.
Yeah, I mean, even if they doubled that, I mean, that's a pathetic total. But the Magic, look, they expected to struggle. This is the beginning of a rebuilding project, and they are gaining some good young talent year in and year out. I think within the next couple of years, they've got a chance to be a good team.
Orlando leading by 3. Whiteside with it. Davis is on it, and he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for the Nets. Holiday comes in for McLemore. Now here is Davis. He had 22 points in the win against New York.
And he did some nice work on the boards too, Kevin. That was definitely a factor in that game as well. And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Here is Whiteside. He's got 5. Bellinelli up top. He's guarded by Davis. 6 on the shot clock. The drive by Bryant, and he gets the bucket. Kobe's got 9.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Here's Henderson. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Now here's Bryant. 9 points in the game so far. It's Evans, top of the key. Evans setting the pick for Brooks. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Let's take a look at the 2K leaderboard to find out who are the best shooters from behind the arc last season. Well, you look at Bellinelli, one of the best shooters in the NBA, top 5 in the league at this moment.
Yeah, very deserved spot for him among the league's leading three-point shooters. He was terrific last season.
First one falls for him. David West, he's checked in for Orlando. And both free throws good for Brooks. Even though the Nets staged a great comeback last season, you have to wonder if they'll view what they did as a disappointment.
They did bring in some big-name stars, but still ended up, I think, right in the middle of the playoff pack in the East, and perhaps fell a little short of what they hoped to accomplish last season.
Here's Brooks, following the basket by Gerald Henderson. Here's Holiday, and so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. That's on Aaron Brooks.
And the offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layup. Earn it from the line.
Brooklyn Nets going all in last season, a record $89 million in luxury tax payments on a mission to win a championship. Of course, it didn't happen, but the question is, where do they go from here?
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Here's Augustine, off the left rim and out. The Magic have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Andre Iguodala is perhaps the premier wing defender in the league. Dre himself said, "I used to always joke with my coaches, I could play defense in my sleep. But it's not just natural ability," he said. "There's another me in the league. They have the same things. Long arms, quick feet, and they can defend. They just choose not to do it." Kevin?
It comes from within, Doris. Thank you. Now here is Holiday, following the miss by Kobe Bryant. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
And, you know, for the Nets, between their trades with the Hawks and the Celtics, they've actually traded away most of their draft picks through 2018. So, you know, what you see is pretty much what you're going to get with this group.
Rebound, Brooklyn.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
Davis setting the pick for Augustine. Davis kicks to Holiday. And that one falls, coming off of Davis's feed. Holiday's got the game tied up here for Brooklyn. And you remember the Nets owner guaranteed a title within 5 years. That's this postseason. Said if he failed, he'd punish himself by, Steve, getting married.
Sure his future wife appreciates that comment.
Yeah,
but,
really.
I don't know. Maybe he's a romantic at heart, Kevin, or maybe not.
What a way to get your marriage started.
Yes. Stolen by Beverly, and up the court come the Magic on the break.
Oh, what a throwdown there.
Oh.
Man. Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Well, you look at Patrick Beverly, and I think he embodies the phrase Chicago tough. And he's relatively unknown growing up and hooping in the playgrounds of West Chicago. He's always played the game with an edge, though, and that served him well as an NBA player.
Now here's Beverly after Henderson's miss. West passes to Beverly. A stupendous finish in traffic. And now a 6-point Magic lead.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
To me, that's the key to any game. Who can win the battle in the paint? And right now, they've got it going.
They get it back. The kick out to Holiday. No good with the triple. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Orlando.
And some great drives to the bucket for them to this point, guys.
You know, they've also shown some real tenacity here early on tonight, and it's paid off with a lot of second chance points.
Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Orlando. Now here is Holiday. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against New York.
And Kevin, a remarkable night for him passing the ball, just racking up the assists.
Magic leading by 7. Here's Bogdanovich. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Let's see some of the numbers here on Anthony Davis. What a year he had last season. Averaged 21 points a game, 10 rebounds, and almost 3 blocks. And it's the kind of run we've seen from him so many times in the past.
But no matter how many times we do see him have a stretch like this, Steve, it still leaves us shaking our heads in amazement and admiration. You know, the Magic are still clearly in the process of rebuilding, but sooner or later, and I think it'll be sooner, they'll be looking to get back into the playoffs with the kind of talent they've started to collect.
To end the run, count it, and the Orlando lead has been cut down to 7 on the bucket from Henderson. And with the Magic 2 consecutive years now, Steve, where they've been beaten out of the playoffs, but that could change soon.
Well, this franchise has had so much success since it started that even a 2-year absence from the playoffs seems like a drought for them. In fact, 4 years is the longest they've ever gone without making the playoffs, and that was when they were actually formed in 1989.
Now, here's Beverly. That's going to be over and back, not watching for the line that time.
Well, let's take a look at how Anthony Davis fared last season. First in blocks, 11th in rebounding, and he became a real offensive threat, one of the top 15 scorers in the game.
And you called attention, Steve, to him being the shot blocks leader in the NBA. I mean, without a doubt, his presence on the low block gave them a dimension that very few teams enjoy. Having a presence there that can throw shots out of there, that's big.
Now here is Holiday, following the miss by Anthony Davis. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
DJ Augustine playing big minutes for the Bulls last season with Derrick Rose hurt. And I'll tell you what, he put up some big numbers at times, 27 points in back-to-back games.
And for Augustine, undersized at the point guard position, he has struggled defensively.
Yeah, and he has to compensate with his shooting and passing skills. When he's hitting shots and finding teammates, he's solid.
Nets trail by 6. And Holiday, here we go, out left to the wing. The Nets working the ball around now. And good! Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine. Augustine's got his 3rd assist on the night. Now here's Beverly. Now the feed to Kobe. The 9-foot shot. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Very porous defense down there by the hoop. He probably should make that one.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. He feeds it to Augustine. Iguodala wide open. Good on the triple. Now just a 1-point Magic lead.
Now they're not showing too much respect for him defensively, are they?
Evans, a screen on Holiday. Pass to Bogdanovich. And Davis sends it back. Fast break, here we go. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
That bounce pass got him the ball in rhythm. Nice play.
Brooklyn making some changes. Hollins is checked in, and McLemore subbed in for Augustine. The Magic also changing it up. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Evans. Paul George comes in for Bryant. And it's Jimmer Fredette in for Bogdanovich. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And they're knocking down that mid-range jump shot, too, so they're really doing a nice job offensively.
Got a piece of it. Stolen by Beverly. And now Orlando on the break. The finish. The rebound by the Nets. Iguodala's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Holiday. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on David West.
Well, what I really like about Drew Holiday is his cool, calm, collected demeanor on the court. It doesn't seem like much bothers him. He stays even keel, and that's exactly what you want in the personality of your floor general.
And for Holiday, I think his level-headed demeanor really belies his toughness and competitiveness. You know, at 6'4", he's quick on his feet. He can really give opposing guards problems at that end of the floor.
It's stolen by Davis. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. McLemore with the ball. Outside for Davis. And there's the 3-second violation. Orlando trailing here. And Holiday with combo guard size. But he's steadily improved as a passer as he's developed.
You know, the last couple of seasons, how about his assist bit going up to 8 per game? He's still got to cut down the turnovers, but overall, I like his IQ for the game.
Here's Holiday after David West's bucket. Davis setting the pick for Holiday. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Holiday's got 14 points.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
Fredette can't hit.
Boy, you wonder what the score of this game would be if they weren't pulling down all these rebounds.
Love what I'm seeing from them in the paint.
Holiday attacking. Bank shot, no good. Orlando's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. It's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
For the Magic, Whiteside comes in for David West. And it's Brooks in for Patrick Beverly. Now here's Brooks. He has 7. Haywood with a screen on Iguodala. Feeds it to Whiteside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's George. Another shot. Whiteside, good. Whiteside's got 5 points now in the quarter. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
Well, neck and neck, how about that? I mean, ferociously competitive. I mean, tight as me in an airplane bathroom.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Well, Drew Holiday, part of a basketball family. Of course, he played at UCLA, but both of his parents played at Arizona State.
And for Drew Holiday, you know, you talk about his family. His brother and sister have both won state titles. And his father, in his 50s, can still throw down the 360 dunk. Now, I'm looking at you.
No, it's not happening here. Come on. I know he's got some good DNA, but 360 dunks at 50? Although Drew is real deal. His youngest brother is a star in the making, playing in high school in Los Angeles right now.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The pass to McLemore. Holiday left side. Dishes to McLemore. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. The Nets have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line. And the first one drops. And he can't hit the second. Now a timeout called by Orlando.
He's been aggressive looking for a shot, but without much success. It might be time for him to take a step back and look to help the team in other ways.
Here's George. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. It's the Nets.
Yes, guys, I'm here.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. An exceptional performance from Drew Holiday.
And all of a sudden tonight, he's become their big assist man. I mean, his passing was the key to their offense in that first half. Not something you always see.
And that's not a role he usually plays, and one I'm not sure he's comfortable in, but they've needed him to make some plays today, and to his credit, he's done it.
Chandler out there with Anthony Davis. Then it's Holiday, and there's Iguodala. And it's Henderson in at the 2 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. 6 to shoot. The 11-footer, and he hits the jumper for 2. Henderson's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Nets. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kev, Coach Lionel Hollins helped define the Grizzlies' grit and grind style and was asked if he'd replicate it with the Nets. He said, quote, "We're going to be aggressive and tough. We'll play together and never quit. But how our style will be is up to the group. The key is creating a system that fits them and allows them to excel." Kevin, back to you.
As a coach, you've got to adapt your talent, Doris. Thanks. And Beverly kicks to George. Here's Whiteside. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Whiteside's got it all tied up now for the Magic. Guys, some great passing from him.
Yeah, it makes it tough for the defense to chase that ball around when it moves that crisply all over the court.
Yeah, it sure does, Clark. And look at the assist totals. They're piling up. I mean, this has been a nice game execution-wise for this club.
So it's Orlando now. After the basket by Brooklyn. Kobe dishes to Whiteside. And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way.
For a while, it looked like the Nets would struggle to make the postseason last year, but they pulled it together.
The Nets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Holiday, the pass to Davis. He dishes it to Iguodala. Davis setting the pick for Iguodala. Holiday goes in.
What a game for Holiday. He's got 16 points, and free throws have been big for him today, with 6 points from the line.
Well, you know, he understands the value of those easy points. Also, you know, getting the opponent into foul trouble. And those are big. Those are the little things that will add up for a team trying to get a victory. Boy, that was solid. I'll tell you, he's one of the best there is up there at the foul line.
And Beverly kicks it to West. Now Beverly, pass to Whiteside. And here's Beverly.
Magic's offensive struggles last year were numerous, but a big part of it was that they just didn't get to the line often enough.
This is his second trip to the free throw line.
You know, guys, you look back to their last game, he was off from the charity stripe all night long.
And you wonder if that's not still on his mind today.
And, guys, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he was such a reliable presence at the free throw line all throughout last season. And for the Magic not getting to the foul line, that's a two-headed coin, if you will. One side of it is not attacking the basket, but the other side of it is lacking the experience and craftiness to draw fouls.
And here's the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's top shot blockers from last season. Anthony Davis, #1.
You know, you don't think of a shot blocker being a combination of power and finesse, but in leading the league, that's exactly what he was.
And Orlando has possession. It's a 5-point game. Here's Beverly outside for George. Count it, and the foul. They get Andre Iguodala. Back up the points about the Magic and the fouls you guys were talking about. They were dead last in the NBA in fouls drawn per game, Steve.
Well, you look at the best teams in the league. They can feast on opponents at the line. So this is an area where the Magic could definitely improve this year. Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
Now here's Kobe. He's got 11.
Well, as far as jump shots go, that's as high percentage as it gets.
I'm not sure how that didn't go down.
And it's Davis finishing it off.
Well, it's been all about pace and space with them. Tempo, the fast break points, just a huge advantage.
Yeah, they've been looking to push it all the time and to get that early offense, and they're doing it well.
Here's Henderson, and again it's Brooklyn converting.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
Once again off the mark, Orlando.
Another strong rebound, just like we've gotten used to seeing from them today.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more of those, and this lead will be double digits.
Clark, some serious agility coming out of the backcourt.
You know, that bucket might count for a little more than 2 points when he finishes with that kind of flourish.
Yeah, against a D that was already reeling a little bit. That was like a body blow.
Well, Paul George, PG 24, has solidified himself as a quality shooter from long range, but I love the way he looks to attack the basket. Needs to do that more often and more efficiently. He uses his length and athleticism to get to the basket and to the free throw line.
Reggie Evans, he's checked in for West. And for Paul George last season, he says he's really worked on his isolation offense, attacking Steve from the elbow and the mid-post.
Yeah, I think he got a lot better there, Kevin, just kind of that triple threat jump shot or one dribble pull-up. But that's a double-edged sword, too. There were times last year where he was a bit of a ball stopper, so he's got to find that balance between ball movement and the ability to attack in an ISO situation.
Now here's Evans, and it's blocked by Chandler. Anderson with it. 17 points in the game. Davis kicks to Holiday. Back to Davis. Shoots from 12. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Anthony Davis with a historic second season. His numbers comparable to some of the all-time greats. The highest player efficiency rating ever for a player his age.
And the Nets making a change here. Augustine's checked in. Outside Bryant. Evans, a screen on Henderson to stop the run. And it's Kobe missing.
They're losing their composure a little bit here on the bad end of a run.
Yeah, they are, and they need to come up with a rally-wrecking play here to stop this run. And Davis becoming a go-to scorer in year 2, showing real comfort as an isolation scorer. In other words, having plays called for him where he just goes one-on-one. In fact, among players his age, with his volume of offense, he leads that group as the most efficient scorer in history.
And Anthony Davis, one of only 6 players since 1980 to post a 40-point, 20-rebound, 3-block shot game. I mean, it was amazing. He, in fact, along with Shaq, Steve, the only 2 to do it before the age of 26.
Yeah, and also, you know, those 2, the only players since 1980 to have a streak of 6 games with at least 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 block, and I memorized that last night.
Yeah, right, exactly. Here you go with the analytics again. You can twist those numbers to say anything you want them to.
You like them too, though, don't you, Clark?
I do, but they need to be balanced out, Kevin. You know I'm not going to go overboard with the analytics.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Let's see some of the numbers here on Patrick Beverley. How he performed last season. Last year averaged 10 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Those aren't bad numbers, but they're not the kind that are going to earn a lot of extra minutes for him either.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if he wants to play a bigger role, a larger role on the team, those numbers are going to have to be better than just decent.
Here is Whiteside. 13 points in the game. And George, here we go. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Looking at the game for George, he has 12 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
Now, his outside stroke has looked really good today.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Nets.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Now here's Henderson. He's got 17. Davis setting the pick for Augustine. Just 5 to shoot. Evans with the rebound. Evans has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And Beverley kicks to Whiteside. They set the screen. George dishes to Evans. Here's Beverley. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Beverly's got it back down to single digits for the Magic. The Nets have gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them. Augustine passes to Chandler. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession.
Well, let's take a look at Paul George and how his last season turned out. 5th in steals, 11th in free throw percentage, and he became a real offensive threat, one of the top 15 scorers in the game.
He also managed to be top 5 in steals as well, Steve, and that was significant. I mean, he was really good at lulling ball handlers to sleep, giving them kind of a false sense of security, and then he'd pounce on it as it was being dribbled to the floor. And he got a lot of his pilfers that way.
And Orlando making a change here. Brooks checked in. Outside, George. Can't hit. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Henderson, no one around him. Gets a very good look and converts. Henderson's got 9 points here in the second half. Here is Bryant. 11 points in the game. Off the pick. The offensive rebound. Here's George. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. He's been spending quite a bit of time at the foul line. This is trip number 6.
Boy, it's been a struggle for him at the charity stripe throughout this game.
Well, give him some credit because he's done well to get there, but of course that's only half the battle. You got to knock him down.
Yeah, you know, that was one spot where they didn't have to worry about him at all. I mean, at the free throw line, he was automatic.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Hollins is checked in, and Glenn Davis subbed in for Davis. Brooks misses.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Pass to McLemore. Kicks to Augustine. Inside. McLemore dishes to Iguodala. Rejected by Haywood. Now here's Brooks. 7 points in the game. The dish to Bellinelli. He kicks it to Haywood. Shoots it. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
And you love the concentration. Gets hit, but stays with the play.
Yeah, he showed a lot right there. Plenty of concentration, finding a way to get that shot to fall.
Iguodala uses the glass to finish the layup. Iguodala is...
You know, the Nets were not a high-octane offensive team. They didn't average 100 points a game, but they were one of the more efficient teams in the league at the offensive end of the floor.
And that one's good, George. Brooklyn leading by 7. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Some fantastic numbers here for Augustine. He has 8 points and 6 assists. He's gotten after it on the boards for them as well as in the transition game.
And one's really fed into the other.
David West, he's checked in for Orlando.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
And McLemore kicks to Augustine. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Augustine's got 10 points.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Brooks kicks it to West. The feed now to George. Shot clock at 5.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark. Brilliant throwdown.
Yeah, just exerting his authority out there.
Here's Augustine. The Magic getting the bucket. He feeds it to Hollins. McLemore, the pass to Davis. Dishes it to Augustine. No good on the 3.
Rebounds are split just about down the middle in this game, Clark.
I'd venture to guess whichever team is able to maintain that energy level on the glass will have the upper hand the rest of the way.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
They're sending guys to the line way more than they should here. They need to play good position defense and avoid the reach-in sloppy fouls.
Nets leading by 5. Passes it to Davis. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine. Augustine's got his 7th assist in the game. Orlando's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. George against Iguodala. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And all you have to do is point to their turnovers this quarter. And there's a reason the scoreboard looks like it does.
Yeah, their confidence has really dissipated here.
Here's McLemore. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, Ben McLemore seen as perhaps a steal when the Kings selected him 7th overall in last year's draft, but his rookie season was a colossal disappointment. Defensively and offensively, he really struggled to contribute.
And McLemore, an excellent shooter in one season that he had at Kansas.
And you combine that with his athleticism, Kevin, and he's got tremendous upside. That's why he was so highly regarded as a prospect.
Nets leading by 9. Iguodala left side. Feeds to Augustine. Davis setting the pick for Augustine. In the corner, it's McLemore. Puts up a 3. Orlando grabs the miss. George has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Augustine with the steal. And now Augustine pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Now Bellinelli. Outside, George. And it's, yeah, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Important 3 to cut it to single digits. It's still within reach. They've got to pick up the intensity in the final quarter.
The third quarter comes to a close. Nets lead by 8. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on.
The NBA season blasts off. The Orlando Magic go up against the Toronto Raptors. It's the NBA Tuesday night.
Nets leading by 8. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. And so in the game for the Magic, Brooks out there with Bryant. Then there's West. Then there's Whiteside. And it's George in at the small forward.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
The drive by Bryant, and that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Boy, we just battled through that initial impact and somehow willed it in.
Excellent concentration. That's what you like to see.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. Up top, Henderson. And Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. They get a hand on it.
That was an ill-advised pass to attempt. He had to know there was a man there in position for the steal.
Bryant with a screen on Holiday. Here's Brooks. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's on Ben McLemore.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official. You look at what Brooks has done so far. He has 8 points, and he's done his job at the charity stripe. He's gotten 4 of his points from there.
And that's a good place to get them. You know, they don't come easier than that, but you've got to get yourself there first.
Davis kicks to Holiday. Back to Davis. Henderson against Kobe. It's blocked. They recover it. Shot clock at 6. No good with the triple. The Magic trailed by 5. West with the ball. Picked up by Davis. And the pass to Bryant. West a screen on Henderson. Bryant drives in. West with a wide open look. That's in, coming off an assist from Bryant. Kobe's got 3 assists tonight. Brooklyn leading by 3. Here's Holiday. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Well, Kobe has always had an alpha personality, but I don't think he came into the league as a natural leader. He was more of a loner. And as his career has worn on, he's realized the need to really engage his teammates for the good of the team.
And Kobe Bryant, I think we've noticed, becoming less guarded in interviews, seems to be a little more open and forthcoming and authentic. And I think that's helped him express his personality both with teammates and the public. And I find it to be kind of refreshing and a good thing.
Here's George from deep. Here's Whiteside. No luck. Nice D from Chandler.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, a construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
Henderson dishes to Holiday. Pass to Henderson. With the teardrop, it's hauled in by Beverly. Beverly's got 5 rebounds tonight. And Kobe, Steve, one of the most intense competitors the league has seen. Sometimes that intensity, though, can rub teammates the wrong way.
Well, the great ones always challenge their teammates to be at their best, and sometimes, it can go overboard. I think the challenge for Kobe is to figure out his new teammates, what makes them tick, and make sure he pushes the right buttons.
Holiday, the pass to Davis. Stolen by Beverly. And he lobs it up toward the rim, and it's George finishing it off.
Well, that's the easiest opportunity an offense can get off a steal.
Exactly. No defense for that.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And Holiday kicks to Chandler. Iguodala dishes to Holiday. Henderson against Kobe. Chandler with a screen for Henderson. 5 on the clock. Good on the 13-footer. Henderson's got 11 points here in just the second half.
With the expectations low for him, he can provide a nice lift when he does put the ball in the basket.
And Beverly kicks to Whiteside. The drive by Bryant. Oh,
look out. Oh, wow.
Boy, that's some physical basketball out there. I'm glad I'm not in the middle of that. A hard pick and an assault on the bucket.
Old school stuff there.
Yeah, there was a lot to like on that play.
Davis. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
And the fadeaway was about his only option there. Really good defensive position.
Now here's Beverly, guarded by Holiday. West a screen on Henderson. It's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Kobe.
Boy, the shots finally dropping for them in bunches, and I'll tell you what, the complexion of this game has totally changed.
That kind of offensive eruption was the only thing that was going to get them back into this one.
And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game.
Well, their worst fear came true. This is still anyone's ball game, but losing him to foul trouble will make it a lot tougher.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Hollins is checked in. Now here's West. He's covered closely. Bryant can't get that one to fall. Brooklyn's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Iguodala, the pass to Holiday. Henderson dishes to Hollins. Pass to Henderson. A shot by Holiday. Nobody around. Good on the triple. Holiday's got 11 in the second half. George with the screen on Holiday. And Beverly kicks to George. Great D that time from Iguodala. Nets leading by 4. Holiday, the pass to Hollins. Back to Holiday. Bryant against Henderson. 6 to shoot. Holiday left side. He dishes it to Hollins. Shoots. That one off the back iron and out. The Magic trail by 4. Nobody near George. That doesn't go either for George.
They've been strong on the boards. There's no disputing that.
That's what the box score says. Still anybody's game, though.
Ball's knocked loose. Beverly dishes to Kobe.
Take a look at what Kobe's done. He has 18 points, and there's a nice number in his assist column as well.
Yeah, it is a nice number. He's taken it upon himself to really find his teammates and to get this offense going.
And Kobe drops them both. I think for a while, Clark, teams looked at Iguodala and saw his talent and what he could do on the floor, and they wanted him to be a centerpiece. Now that he's been in the league this long, and as a vet, he seems almost better suited as a complementary piece.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, not everybody can be the main focal point of a team, and that's no knock on Iguodala. I mean, I think he's terrific. He does a little bit of everything, does it all well. And I understand he's really a high-quality guy and teammate. He's very much more of a playmaker than a scorer, even though he can look dominant with the ball in his hands at times. Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Outside, George. Kicks it to Beverly. Bryant passes to George. And he misses the go-ahead basket.
And with With Iguodala comfortable in its role playing as a sidekick, it makes sense because he modeled his game so closely after Pippen when he was growing up. Very much cut out of the same cloth.
Now here's Henderson, defended by Beverly, and count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
That is a terrific effort on the shot. He's giving up a lot of size, but still finds a way to score.
I don't think that affected him in the least, though, Steve. I mean, he made it look like he was the bigger guy. You know, final thought here on Iguodala. The more I think about what you said about him and Pippen, they're similar in length. Their ability, their versatility defensively is a talent that I think they both have, in addition to being able to make plays for others. I think it's a reasonable comparison, actually quite apt when you look at those two guys.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. During that last break, I heard Lionel Hollins as he addressed his team. He told them, "This is it, fellas. Let's hit them right out of this timeout. Put some pressure on them. Show them how much you want it. Let's go get it." Guys, he's really exhorting them to give them a burst of energy.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Goes up from the top of the key. That doesn't go either for Bryant. The Nets with the lead. To the paint. Here's Henderson, and it's blocked. Now here's Beverly. Defense right on him. Outside, Kobe. West setting the pick for Kobe. Shot off the pick. That one wide left.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Henderson against Kobe. Holiday, a screen on Bryant. The dish to Holiday. He kicks it to Hollins. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. The 15-footer, and he gets it to go. Now it's a 4-point Brooklyn lead. Orlando's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. And there's the feed to Bryant. Kobe can't get that one to fall.
Not a good look at the hoop. They've got to do a better job offensively creating some space.
Here's Holiday. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. And he makes the first.
At the line for your Nets, Drew.
Both free throws good from Holiday. Now a timeout called by Orlando.
Yeah, he's trying to take the wind out of their sails here. I mean, they're on the wrong end of a bad run. They got to sort things out.
I think things were very close to spiraling out of control if he didn't burn one there.
That one's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Bryant.
The points just keep coming for him this quarter, and just at the right time, too, as they try to narrow the deficit.
Dishes it to Chandler, and blocked. Now here's Beverly, guarded by Holiday. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot, he'll shoot two. That one is on Holiday.
Take a look at what Beverly's been doing. 9 points, and all the steals he's collected only add to his impressive stat line.
Yeah, whether he's picking someone's pocket or picking off a pass, he has been causing some mayhem out there for sure.
Holiday with it, picked up by Bryant. Iguodala kicks to Chandler. Kobe comes with the double team. Pass to Holiday. From deep three-point range, the shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. Iguodala's got 4 assists now tonight. Now Beverly. Here's George. Bullseye. George has got 6 in the quarter.
Not too many of those shots were dropping for him in the first half, but it's been a different story here in the second.
Brooklyn with the ball. Chandler dishes to Hollins, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. And the Nets lead by 6.
Just the shot they wanted. Point-blank range.
Iguodala against George. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two.
He's been to the line here more than in the first. I thought he was a bit tentative in that first, but I like the aggressiveness he's showing here now.
He's perfect from the line this time.
What a clutch performer. He loves being in these situations, just relishes the opportunity. A lot of guys say they do,
but you can see it in his face. He truly does.
Henderson passes to Chandler. Inside runner. Orlando grabs the miss. Beverly's got 6 rebounds here tonight. He feeds it to Kobe. Shoots a fader, and that one's good. Bryant's got 13 points in the second half.
He's really stepped it up this quarter. Looks like he's determined to get them out of this hole all by himself.
1:03 left in the fourth quarter. Henderson kicks to Holiday. Feeds to Hollins. Just 5 to shoot. Holiday dishes to Henderson. And here's Iguodala outside. Cans the 3.
This guy will really make you pay if you leave him enough room outside.
The Magic shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. And here's Kobe from the arc. Sinks it. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Kobe has been sensational.
Steve, what a big possession right here.
No doubt, guys. You can feel the tension in this building.
Henderson against Bryant. Outside Holiday. The pass to Henderson. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him.
Well, it's still within reach.
Yeah, but their offense, Steve, needs to be just about perfect from here out.
Outside, George. Outside, Bryant. To tie it up. Oh, no good.
Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
He drops the first one, and that narrows the gap to 1. And Brooklyn making a change here. And he ties it up.
Boy, big shots there. One mistake, and the game's over, but he got it done.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Outside Holiday. Good from beyond the arc. What a shot. But they may take a second to look at it. Boy, that was close. And they're going to call for a review of that last second shot. If they overturn the basket, they'd get a chance to play the overtime period. Otherwise, this one is over.
Well, now that we can see the replay, it looks like he did get the shot off in time. It looked that way to me originally, and that's the call we should see here.
You're right. I think he got it off. But anytime it's as close a call as that was, in a big situation like this, it's always smart to take a closer look.
And we have final word from the officials. The basket still counts, and this game is in the books. Although we had to wait for the review on the buzzer beater.
Everybody kind of held their breath there, Kevin, but we get confirmation the bucket counts. They made the right call, and the results will stand.